Morning. I hope this finds you doing so well. Good morning to Facebook and good morning to Instagram. So you'll see me looking at two places, and that is why, because we're going live to Instagram and Facebook this morning. All right, so I want to hear from you guys as you join in, as always. Before we get into today's question, I will quickly introduce myself and then we'll jump into the topic, which I'm very excited about because this is something that I have seen over and over again with clients I work with and with equestrian entrepreneurs that I follow their journey online. And I see that this is the thing that makes the difference. So I'm glad that you are here. Now, quickly, I'll introduce myself and then we'll jump into today's live training. So my name is Denise Alvarez with Storm Lily Marketing, and I help equestrian entrepreneurs to really streamline your marketing process and create a cohesive social media, website, and email marketing strategy so that you can connect with and book your right customers online. So for those of you who are joining live, hey Rachel, I'm so glad you're here. And for anybody watching the replay, I have a question for you because you're on here because the topic is what's the one thing that's keeping you from making your horse business dreams come true? And so I would love to know, you can just shoot one line. When you think about the dreams that you have for your horse business, for your equine business, what is that? And I know that there are probably many facets to this, right? But maybe, I've worked with some people who said, Denise, honestly, I just want to make enough money to pay for my horse habit. Like that's where I'm at with my business right now. Or I want to retire comfortably. I want this to be part of my retirement plan and something that I can do to make some additional side income. Or I want to leave my 9 to 5 where I'm not fulfilled and I want to be working with horses full time. That's my dream. Maybe you want to build a team. Maybe you want to build a big show barn, right? I would love to hear from you in the comments, wherever you're listening or watching. Let me know, what does that look like for you, okay? And as we jump in, of course, if you have questions about what I'm sharing with you today, I would love to hear from you. So please feel free to leave a comment or send me a direct message. I'm definitely here for your questions, whether it's related to my Take the Reins program, which you will learn more about in just a bit, or if it's related to the content I'm sharing with you today. All right. All right. So let's jump in. What is the one thing that I see often that horse business owners are either not believing or not doing that's keeping them from really making their business dreams come true? If you have any guesses, throw it into the comments. I'm going to jump right into it, right? This is the thing that is keeping you from maybe creating a separate business account for tracking all of your income or expenses. It's the thing that's keeping you from investing in yourself, in your education, in your marketing, in your business. It's the thing that's keeping you from saying no to the customers, potential customers, that are not the right fit for you. They become your customers because you're afraid to tell them no. It's also keeping you from believing that these big dreams that we just talked about can actually come true. I'll get a super quick drink of water. Good morning, right? That one thing, friends, is that you are treating your equine business like a hobby. I see it all the time. Do you have a hobby that happens to pay you well or pays you, right? You may even say, Denise, it's my hobby, it's paying me, but I wouldn't say it pays me well. Or do you have a business? Are you always working in your business, but never feeling like you're making progress because you don't work on your business? That is a sign that you are treating it like a hobby. Now, here's the thing I want you to remember from today. If you treat your horse business like a hobby, then you run the risk of either burning out or eventually reaching a place financially where you just cannot do it any longer. And I do not want that for you. I want you to be able to make those big dreams that we talked about really, truly come true for you. And that kicker is going to be when you make the decision that you have a business, not a hobby. Because this is what's keeping you stuck. So here's my challenge to you, and it really is a challenge. Can you say out loud, right where you are, okay, I am a business owner. I own a horse business. I am an entrepreneur. Why am I telling you that? Because I know that for many of you, you're afraid to say that out loud because you're not really sure that you believe it and you're walking in it. You feel like when you say that, you're a bit of an imposter because this started out as a hobby, right? For so many horse businesses, this started out as your hobby, and then it turned into a business over time that maybe wasn't your beginning objective, right? And so you feel like saying, this is my business, I'm a business owner, has a little bit of imposter syndrome attached to it because you kind of don't feel like it is, right? You feel like it's still your hobby. Or maybe you're afraid to do it because you think that you should just be doing it because you love horses. I know especially for horse trainers and for riding instructors, I have talked to riding instructors who have felt this way as well, that are like, well, I love what I do. So it's not really a job. It's not really my business. I just love doing it, right? And so therefore they're hesitant to call it a business. They're hesitant to say, I am a business owner. Now, the other thing that may be keeping you from saying that maybe there's a little bit of fear inside of you, is that when you say you're a business owner, then the expectation that you have for yourself goes up exponentially. And I completely understand this. I do. When you say you're a business owner, you're thinking, okay, what are the things that I should be doing differently because this is a business? Or if I say it's a business, other people expect X, Y, and Z, and I don't know if I can live up to those expectations. Or perhaps you're afraid to say you're a business owner because if you start looking at the numbers and you realize what you need to charge for your services, for your products, to actually make a good living for your family and for your business and for your long-term planning, then you just immediately are choked with fear and you don't know that you'll be able to do that, right? You're afraid that you're going to lose customers. And so therefore it's easier to just stay on the level playing field and continue to treat it like a hobby and kind of just maintain, right? If any of those resonate with you, let me know, because again, you are not alone. That's why I can share these things with you, because I've heard them and I have seen them. But what I want to encourage you with today is that at the end of this training, that you feel equipped to own the title of entrepreneur, because you are an equestrian entrepreneur. You have a horse business, which is exciting. This is so exciting. You have the opportunity to build a business that fits your lifestyle, that fits your family, that fits all the things that you pictured your horse business would be. You get to build that from scratch. And that is super exciting. I also know it can be a little bit overwhelming. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to do that in some specific areas in just a moment. So don't worry. Remember, my goal is always to equip you on these live trainings. So I want to equip you first to be able to believe that you are a business owner, that you are the CEO of your equestrian company. Whether you are one person or 5 people or 20 people, you are leading a company. You are leading the charge. All right. So let's talk about then, what does that look like? What are some areas that every horse business owner, regardless of the size of your business, should be treating like a business that maybe right now you're kind of treating it like a hobby? All right, let's look at 3 main areas that I want you to focus on. Number 1 is your operations. Okay, this is basically the day-to-day running of your business. Let's think about onboarding new clients. What does that look like? Do you have a system in place, or is it all just reliant on you doing the work, right? You're doing the busy work, so to speak, to get new paperwork signed, to get payments processed, to get invoices sent out, to get schedules set up, to bring horses in and get horses out, or get new students in, and to schedule appointments and reschedule riding lessons, all those things, right? Do you have a system and a process in place for that, your day-to-day operations? That is going to be a life changer for many of you if you will just make the decision for that right there to operationalize your business. Now, if you have a team, even if you have one person, if you have one assistant that's working under you, I want you to evaluate, what does that look like? How are you operationally working as a business? Are you leading that team member? Are you engaging with them and encouraging them in their strengths? Are you thinking big picture and what might be next or ahead for them, right? They're with you because they believe in you, most likely. So how are you really doing with that trust that they've put in you? That's a part of treating your business like a business when it comes to your operations. Also, think about, especially for those of us who are the one person doing all the things, right? Do you have at least a document in place that you have shared with someone that lets them know the happenings in your business? If something happens to me, this is where you can find my client list and where they stand, right? Obviously, I know I'm talking to a number of different types of businesses. So maybe if you're a photographer, someone needs to find your client list because if something happened to you, then those people need to know they don't have a photographer or what's going on, right? Same with your horse trainer, same for riding lessons, all those things. You're working one-on-one with customers and clients. So especially when you are the solo show for your business, you're the CEO and the CFO and the COO, right? All the things. Then you need to have a document in place and something that you have shared with at least one trusted person that says, this is what's going on in my business. This is how you find the things you need to find. That is part of treating your business like a business operationally. Okay. All right. Next, I mentioned you're the CFO, right? You're the chief financial officer too. So what does that look like as a business? You need to know your numbers, right? It doesn't need to just be in your head. And ideally, you are going to have a place where you can go in and get a report and really dive into the expenses that are connected to offers that you have, right? Where you can evaluate your offers. It does not have to be complicated, I promise. I know many of you are probably using Excel. I personally use Wave apps. It's free and it's a expense tracking software. I'm able to pull out reports when it comes tax time and every month to see where I stand. And that really helps me to plan as a business where I'm at and where I'm going, to look at my offers and see what's profitable and what's not. Where am I spending more? Where should I be spending less, right? As a business owner, it is so important for you to know your numbers, not just the bottom line at the end of 12 months, right? I don't want you to just know that bottom line number. I want you to know on a regular basis where you stand. I want you to know if you're profitable, what is helping you to make the most money? What are your most profitable offers that you have right now, right? What about lifetime value? Now, I know that one may seem a little sticky. We talked about this a little bit last week in my live training. When people come to you and they become your customers, then over time, are they spending more money with you? Are they staying with you, right? Or does somebody come to you, buy one thing, come for one service, and then you never see them again? What are the lifetime values of your customers, okay? Now, here's the beauty of being the CFO, of knowing your numbers. You still are the decision maker in your business, okay? So obviously, when you look at a number and you say, gosh, I thought I was making more money with that, but I'm not. So rather than just kick it to the curb, I love what I'm doing there. What can I do? How can I change that? Do I need to increase my prices? Do I need to decrease my expenses? Do I need to get somebody in the door to help me with the things that are really stealing my time so I can focus on the offers that are more profitable? The thing is, you are the business owner. You get to make the decision. So the data is going to inform your decisions. And if you don't have the data to pull from, then you are just pulling it out of thin air when it comes to planning for your horse business, okay? So I want you to consider how in the coming month even, right, in the next 3 or 4 weeks, because I know this is a big task. In the next 3 or 4 weeks, what can you do to claim that title of CFO, right, Chief Financial Officer in your horse business so that you really know and understand your numbers and it can help you to plan your business for the long term? All right, so we talked, number 1, about your operations. Number 2, about your finances. Number 3, to transition from being a hobby to a business, you are also going to become your CMO, your Chief Marketing Officer. Now, very often I see people jump straight to this one and they skip the operations and they skip the finances and they focus on marketing, but really it's just like, what can I do to get the word out, which is definitely a part of marketing. But then what happens is they get new people, right? It starts to work, and then they don't have a system and a structure in place that really help them to balance that growth and to really provide that excellent customer experience that you want to provide for your customers, okay? So the other two come before that for a reason, but marketing is still very key for growing that horse business, okay? For growing your dream horse business. And here is the good news. It does not mean you have to spend a bunch of money on ads. It also does not mean you have to be glued to your phone at all times, right? Marketing at its core really has to do with deciding up front that you have a product or service that's valuable, that you know is going to help horses and or their people, and therefore you are going to share about it because you know it's going to make a difference. That's the marketing and sales piece, right? Now, of course, if we're not new friends, you have heard me talk about marketing as relationships. You've heard me talk about marketing as connection and all of those things. That absolutely is it. But at its core, it's because you have a product or service that you want to get into the hands of the right people, or you want the right people to come to you and work with you, right? So what does that look like when you're deciding, okay, I'm drawing a stake in the ground. This is not a hobby. This is a business. It means that you're going to stop hodgepodging and throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to just see what sticks, right? It means that you're going to stop creating a profile and posting for 5 days in a row and then never showing up on social again for 3 months because you got busy and you forgot about it, right? It means that you're not going to go buy the domain for your website and then never get that website created in the first place. It means that you say, all right, I'm a business owner. This is a business. I'm going to be here for the long haul. And so I'm going to step into this role of marketer. I'm going to get a clear plan to follow. I'm going to get a clear path to follow. And then I'm going to be consistent and take action on that, right? You're going to make a choice and find a plan that works for you and then stick with it. That's what it looks like to really choose when it comes to your marketing that you are a business owner. Of course, there are many strategies that I can teach you, and we've done that on previous live trainings, and I'll continue to do that, whether it's here on live trainings or on the podcast or in one-to-one coaching or social strategy, my group coaching program. I'm all about the strategies and the tactics. But what I am seeing over and over is that the business owners who set a stake in the ground and say, I am a business owner, this is what it looks like for me, then those are the ones that are really getting to see success and getting to see those big dreams come true for them, right? When you shift your thinking from hobby to business owner, I promise you do still get to do what you love. Yes, you're going to have to split a little bit of your time. I'm not going to lie. Like, that's part of it. You're going to have to make a choice. 1 hour of my day is going to be spent doing this one thing, right? Or 2 hours this week. You're going to have to make a choice about your time. But if you don't do that, think about what you're risking, right? Think about what you're risking if you don't make those choices now and set yourself up for success now. Because like I said in the very beginning, if you treat your business like a hobby, then you run the risk of either burning out or reaching a point where you just cannot do it anymore financially. And that is not what I want for you, right? And I know that's not what you want for yourself, okay? Now, recently on the podcast, I had a guest share this line that I thought was brilliant. When he reached a point where he was burnt out and he was like, I'm doing all the things, I'm working in my business 70 hours a week, but I'm never working on my business. So I feel like it's not going anywhere, right? The wheels are spinning, but I just am not making progress. And he said what clicked in his mind is that he realized successful horses always have a trainer. I'm going to say that again so it resonates for you too. Successful horses always have a trainer. And you could even say the same for riders, right? Those successful riders and horses, the combinations that you see, they always have a trainer. They have someone who is speaking into them, who is standing on the outside and looking in, giving them insights, who is giving them a plan and literally telling them what to do next, right? So as a business owner, why is it that we so often forsake that idea that we need to have a trainer? We need to have somebody that's speaking into us, that's showing us the next steps, that has the expertise that we don't, that has the vantage point that we don't have. And so I will ask you that same question. If you're going to treat your horse business like a business, what is keeping you from having someone that is right there with you, who is showing you the path to take, showing you the steps, and equipping you, giving you the tools, giving you the education, and sharing their expertise? This is exactly why I created Take the Reins, my one-on-one coaching program. Because I realized that you as a horse business owner, you have the horse expertise, right? You have the riding expertise, you have the photography expertise, you have the training expertise, body work, massage, all of those different things, right? You have that. And yet you're saying, I need to market my business well. And so rather than you spending hours on Google trying to watch different free lessons and realizing there are so many different ways to do things, instead, I want to give you a customized plan that you can follow for your horse business. I will help to keep you accountable. I will bring my marketing expertise and experience to the table, as well as educate you, answer your questions, and give you the tools and the templates that you need to take action moving forward. It's 2 per month, 90-minute intensive sessions, you and I together on Zoom. And I have a plan for each one, right? It's not just me showing up and saying, okay, show me what you've got. I've got a plan for each of our calls, and I'm going to guide you through my Saddle Up and Go framework that's going to help you to have a confident plan for marketing your horse business at the end of our 3 months together, okay? So if this is resonating with you, if you're like, Denise, I'm in. I am ready to put a stake in the ground. This is no longer a hobby for me. I've been treating it like that for years, but this is a business. I'm ready to move forward and make those decisions. Or you're saying, Denise, I've been treating it like a business, but marketing is a piece that's been missing for me. I've been trying to educate myself online all by myself, and I'm ready to bring in somebody that can help me. Then I invite you to apply for Take the Reins. You can head over to stormlily.com/reins. You will see all of the information there about what's included, who it's for, who it is not for, as well as how you can apply. And hopefully it will answer all of your questions. But of course, if you have questions as you're there, feel free to reach out. I am absolutely here to help. I would love to answer your questions and make sure that you're making a confident decision that Take the Reins is the right place for you. Okay? It is my personalized one-on-one coaching program. I take limited spots every quarter so that I really can personalize and customize your plan to you and your business. I'm going to help you clarify that messaging that you've been stuck with so that when we move into planning your social media, when we move into your website audit, when we move into your email marketing plan and all of those things, you will have a very clear plan of who we're talking to, the problems you solve for them, and the way that you're going to communicate that connects to your potential customers. All right. So if you are ready to be the CMO of your business, you're ready to be that chief marketing officer, I invite you to head over to stormlily.com/reins, learn more information. And of course, if you have questions about what I've shared with you today, then drop those in the comments as well. Wherever you're watching the replay, I'm absolutely here for it, and I will jump back in and make sure that I answer any questions that you have there. All right? Okay, friends, I appreciate you joining me here today, and I hope that you are not just inspired in your horse business, but that you are truly equipped for the journey that's ahead. I am excited for you. I really am, because the more I even learn in my own business about what is possible and about it's not just about dreaming big, but it's about really taking actionable steps to make those dreams come true. It makes me more excited for what you are doing as well. All right. Okay, friends, I appreciate you being here. I hope you have an amazing day, and stay tuned. Next week, I have 3 more live trainings for you. All right. We're not doing this every week, I promise, but I do have 3 weeks of 3 live trainings per week lined up, and next week is number 3. All right. So stay excited and have an amazing day, and head to stormlily.com/reins and check out Take the Reins.